Good afternoon. Welcome to another cast of VRML breaches. Obviously, this one is going to be a little bit differently than the normal ones. This is going to be the playoffs with the top 8, of course, coming in today. And right now, we do have Valor and F3 coming in and showcasing the top, I think, 4 and 5 seed coming in here. And obviously after this one is going to be Acer and Zero in the upcoming game here. But right now, let's focus on what we're seeing right now with the Valor and Formula 3 squad here. Valor, a team that I think we're all very much in tune with, and a team that has upset Acer several times. And I think within the last 5 games, they actually played against Acer again and beat them. But they have a very interesting track record against Acer. Looks like about even, honestly, in terms of their wins against them. So definitely a team that has the chops to play amongst the top, teams in breachers. On the other end, we do have Formula 3, a very, I think, shaky last couple of games here. I mean, just looking at some of their stats here, they lost against SVNA, they lost against Acer, they lost against Fusion, so definitely a little bit rough, I think, more recently for the Formula 3 squad here. But I will say this, they did beat IVNA in that faded last game here, which is the top 2nd team right now in the league. So a lot of back and forth right now in the top 8, but I love that. I think that always makes for a more interesting season in general than one that is basically, what we had seen in season 0, 1, and 2, where basically Acer just came in and just steamrolled a lot of people. And that's what we saw in the last season, right? We saw IVNA really come in and shake things up and won the whole playoff. And I was excited to see them be crowned the newest grand champion. So we'll see if anything different happens this time around. But we do see Acer coming back in good form here, but that is for a later game right now. Valor and Formula 3. I'm curious, Chad, what do you think is going to be the top team for this one? It looks like it could be either one at this point. I mean, we're talking about probably one of the closer matchups in these first set of matches here, 4th and 5th seed here. You really can't get any closer than that, right? Versus the other ones, we're going to be seeing 1 and 8, right? We're going to see Acer versus the CC's champion, and that's going to be a very interesting game. I'm excited to see what that does come, as that's going to be the upcoming game right after this one. But Formula 3 and Valor, I was sitting, I think, on the car ride here back home, and I was just wondering, who do I think is going to win this one out? Is it Formula 3, Valor? S3 is definitely a team that I've had in my hearts for so many different seasons. I've loved, sorry, I'm a little sick. I love seeing what they have brought to the game and the energy. And obviously I have kind of a bias because I'm really cool with Gravy. But Valor is a team I have to get credit for. I remember I made a TikTok, I think, towards the beginning of this season where I was talking about them and Acer going at it, neck and neck all the time. So Valor's got the chops. I said that last season too. We saw Valor perform very well last season. I was hoping they would get a little further in the playoffs, and they did a good job. But I'm hoping we can see something different this time around. But Valor and F3, I mean, this is going to be a good matchup. I'm excited to see anything that comes out between these two. Unfortunately, for y'all and the cast, it's just going to be me today. So you're going to be getting a lot of Martini talking points. And I think you guys know at this point, I'm a chatter. Yes, Reaver, I'm sorry. It's solo casting. No one else is available. I was saying that there's so many tournaments in these first couple weeks in June and the end of May here, right? We had Orion Drift right now that's running the Ignition Cup. We had, I think, Pavlov was doing something. We had Vale doing something. Like, I love seeing all these, tournaments coming in for VRML, but it sucks for the casting team because unfortunately, while we have grown our casting team so much since season 0, it's still not to that level where we can support so many different things going on at once here. But it is what it is. Looks like the teams are going to be lining up pretty soon here. 9 teams in the lobby at this point. I wanted to maybe get through some of these sponsors. Shout out to Triangle Factory, one of my personal favorite sponsors, for providing us with the game we love, and of course for supporting season 4 of VRML and HyperX. Shout out to them for offering some great products like the high quality, HyperX Quadcast S. That's always a mouthful, it's hard to get through that sometimes. And also for providing great peripherals for computers. And of course, if you have not been paying attention, don't forget VRMLCon 2025 is right around the corner and confirmed for Phoenix, Arizona. So if you'd like to meet all of the breachers casters in person, I think almost 95% of us will be there. So join us, or if you want to join any of the tournaments online, head to the VRMLCon website and make sure to grab your tickets for those open qualifiers. And maybe I'll see you on stage, and if not, you might see me on stage because we'll be casting. I'm hoping to casting something. We have been technically the caster list has not been promoted and put out yet, but hopefully I'm on one of them, right? I'm hoping I'm on something. I've put in the work where I could here, but looks like we do have all 10 people in the chat. Sorry, 10 people in the lobby, not the chat. the chat. We got about 50 people. You know, come on. You know, trickle in, y'all. We are still getting set up here, and you know, let me know. It's gonna be a solo casting day. So if you want any talking points or anything from me, let me know. I would gladly talk about any things that I have, any opinions, because I will be talking so much today. And I'm letting the teams. Y'all are good to go. Whenever. Looks like we're going to be having Valor on the starting side here. We're going to be having F3 on the attacking side here. Pulling up the map bans. They banned Skyscraper. That hurts my soul. That's what, you know, that happens a lot. And Mall, obviously the most recent map of this season. So definitely interesting. Definitely interesting choices for these bans here, but it looks like the first map's actually going to be Arctic, which honestly is I think a map that's become one of my favorite maps now. It's more interesting. It looks beautiful. You know, I love what Triangle Factory did with Arctic, especially with the rework, right? They really changed up a lot of how this map functions and how it plays, and especially in competitive play, right? But anyways, like I said, they did choose Arctic, so we'll be hopping right into the map soon here. Chaos Casters, you know, I think it was like gravy because we were already like streaming, you know, the casters just playing random games together, and we were just like, why don't we just make a VRML team in? And everyone's like, why not? And then we did that, and it's been a blast. We suck considering we don't do any scrims, we don't do any practices, but it's fun. It's fun to engage with the community, and you know, if you want to farm clips from killing casters, hopefully you get matched up against us one time, because I think we're gonna be doing it next season too. There's like 6, 7, 8 of us, and because we have so many subs, it's easy to play a game. But if you see Chaos Casters, do not be scared. We are not a coordinated team. Just letting that be known right now. But it looks like we are going to be getting started here as Formula 3 starting again on this attack against the B side here. There's nothing quite happening here. It's going to be a little bit slower of a startup here by F3. Makes sense. Pistol round, they want to feel out the Valor defense here. And we can see on the Valor side, right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mostly 4 anchored on site. We only have 1, which will be Shark. That's a little bit off site there. We'll see if they get any roaming of value there in the end. But, you know, roaming's always kind of a hit or miss. We're seeing some aggressive plays already coming out there from Crimson and the Shark, really holding these corners, really preventing anything happening there. Crimson getting a lot of damage from the Incendiary. I think that's, dare I say, that's a pick there. And that's already a great start coming out there from Snoopington, knocking out Crimson. Now with a 4v5. No, that's a 4v4 now, as IDAP now does shut down one of the Formula 3 players. And it looks like we are getting started pretty soon here as IDAP themselves. These Incendiaries are coming in clutch right now, as on the other side, Reapington and Shark are about to come neck to neck here. They didn't see the roamer, and they're about to be knocked down, and they just clip farm that. There you go, Shark the Rat shutting that one down, and a C3PO on the back and getting shot as Jim goes for the swing, gets shot down. Now leaving just down to Gears here, and a 1v2 gets knocked down in the end. That's going to be Valor coming out there with a dub. Someone has said Martini so tough get carried. What do I think about the flashbang buff? You know, I saw the buffs from the dev notes from the flashbang. I think needed. I'm gonna be honest. I remember when it first came out and they nerfed it with that weird, like, if you looked away from it, you basically get like 1 second of flash and there's no hit indicator. It was too risky. I always feel like the flashbang was so risky because you had to like just hope. You just had to hope that it hit, and you just got to chance it. Versus every other, I think, gun, almost every other utility in this game, you get some hit marker, you get some notification that something hit. Right, the frag. You know, if it worked the same way as a flashbang, you wouldn't even know, right? It would just go in, and it would just hit, and then you wouldn't know if there's any hit markers. But you got the hit markers with the frag, so why wouldn't you get it with something like a flashbang that knew you could attack and push, right? I think it was needed. I think at least the hit marker sound was needed for sure. It didn't get buffed. I think there's like a minimum amount of blinding now, which I was kind of okay with. I think it makes the flashbang a lot more usable, and considering the frag itself is 200 and it can still kill somebody, and a flashbang just kind of blind someone, I think it makes them more usable in terms of utility, right? And that's the same thing we saw with the Incendiary as Red takes off Supington already coming in here 30 seconds into the round. I think it was very useful. It brings them more in line. Oh, it's the Uricon coming out there in good form there by Jims. I mean, let's get a little clip of that for later here. And after off to a rough start here, already down 2 players. They got Crimson on the back end here. And it's looking tough already. But again, this is defense. This is Arctic. People do say it's a little more even nowadays. But I'm kind of mixed on how I feel like defense always just has a slight advantage. Oh, it looks like some wallbang coming out there from Kington. Crimson trying to go in for the swing, gets shot up. A lot of tip damage there, and I think Crimson's definitely be peeling out of there pretty soon here. As still, again, even with that chip damage, Valor's still very much up with a 2-player advantage right now against F3 here. And, you know, 1 minute left in a round here. It's going to be very challenging for F3. They got to do something for this to really come to fruition here. But I am going to be, honestly, on the more conservative side here. I don't think it's going to be working out for them. Interesting. Let's see what's going on here. Formula 3 really taking their time at this point. Going in for the frag there. Red runs out, gets a little bit of chip damage, and that doesn't do too much. Incendiary somehow gets into the worst corner there and does not get any good coverage. Crimson surprisingly still very much on the back end there. I thought they would have peeled off, considering how much health they don't have. But Jim goes in for the swing again. The Incendiary, though, knocks him out. And that is going to be an unfortunate situation here. At this point, Formula 3, I'm almost saying maybe go in for the save at this point. 10 seconds left on the timer there. Oh my goodness, I can't talk right now. But it looks like that is going to be it for this round for Formula 3. Let's pull up, I think, one of the more interesting spots here. As, you know, the swing from Jims, that already happened once. They did it twice, I think, in that round in the end there. So it did work out perfectly for them. Valor now up at 2 points. We're seeing a lot, and they did really well in terms of surviving, too. Check out the economy here, where they have 3 buys coming out from their side. Only 1 buy on the F3 side. Let's check out some of the scoreboard here from both sides. Looks like Valor, I mean, Red there was at 4-0, 2-2. Formula 3 really lacking in some of these picks, but I will say that, you know, Valor's not flush with picks either. I think they've just been better positioning at this point against the F3 squad. I think someone else said something. Someone got a clip from Chaos Casters when Bob went on it was like a 3K streak. I think he had like a shotgun or something, and he went crazy that round. I think sometimes, you know, I know Bob doesn't play that much, so, you know, I don't expect, I'm not shocked if things don't work out. But Bob, honestly, unexpectedly has some crazy picks. I'm not sure if it's just the game sense really comes through him sometimes, but I mean, I've seen him. I've been surprised by Bob sometimes, and I'm like, wow, I did not expect you to get a 3 or 4K, but hey, credit to you, man. Now looks like the drone coming in, trying to get some intel there for the players, but nothing really quite coming up. As again, Valor playing very conservative on this defense. Actually, no, 3 players in, maybe 2 extended, 3 extended actually, only 2 on site at this point. Valor playing very aggressive on this defense, trying to see if they can get some picks before anything happens. Here, Jims goes for the swing, gets knocked out by Snooping Tim. Crimson for the follow, gets the 2K, and that's going to be 1-2, and that is down for the count. As again, Valor off to a great start right now. Already down 2 players, lost 1 themselves, but Jesus saves. I mean, when you go in for a 2 pick for 1 life, I think it's totally worth it. I should have got a cough drop before this game started here, but it's fine, guys. I'm going to push through this sickness. I love y'all. I love y'all. And, you know, it's funny doing solo casting. It brings me back to my roots because it's been such a long time. I forgot what it's like to cast alone, but gotta give love because every caster starts somewhere. And I adapt, even with a deep or lean, not able to really get much damage out on them. But they got a good amount of chip damage themselves here. The RCP in hand, I know Gravy definitely has a lot of strong opinions about the RCP and how it performs here. A little bit of chip damage on Rapesington, I think. And that is about it here. As again, Formula 3 really taking a lot of time to fight every single room at this point because Valor is just holding down every single area. Someone said Valor in 2. I mean, if the performance is going this way, I would not be shocked. But hey, Formula 3, I've always said this, to get like a +5 stat boost for playoffs. I don't know why, they just do. So I'm not going to count them out yet, but we'll see. Oh, as Crimson already knocking out Reapsington on the back end. They're only leaving C3PO and Resi at this point. And a frag slipping out there. A lot of chip damage as C3PO goes in for the flash there. Does connect against IADAP, but that's about it. Double hit there. I didn't see the register. Oh, and Shark on the back end gets the shot. Now coming down is just Resi at this point. And it's looking tough as the bomb is detonated there. And Shark going in to try and see if they can pick up one last kill here. IADAP goes for the swing. And that is going to be exactly how Formula 3 felt in that last round here. Yeah, that's rough. I mean, F3. What else can I say at this point? I just need to see some different performances here. I'm an F3. Again, I was an F3 fanboy since season 01. You know, 0.5, I guess you can even say. Right in between those two seasons here. But Valor, I got to give credit where credit is due. Valor is a team that we've seen knock down Acer. The Valor's a team that we've seen come back from some rough losses against that same team. So if they can be one of the top teams in the league, you know, I can see them holding their own. Granted, Formula 3 is another team. They held their own against IBNA, which is another great team there. So I'm not going to discount Formula 3 either. But maybe it's a side difference. Maybe it's the map. Maybe they just don't perform well on Arctic here. We'll have to see how Formula 3 does, you know, perform on the defense themselves and or on round 2. But a very split attack here now coming out from F3. Might be seeing a split 3-2 push, right? And it looks like Red now aware that A is going to be attacked here. Looks like they're going to actually rotate. And Formula 3, though, this wide attack maybe can work out in their favor if these two can get some damage done here. But I think the surprise, unfortunately, not a surprise anymore, as it looks like Shark the Cat already knocking out C3PO with these wall bangs here. Oh, and Crimson getting knocked out through these wall bangs. I mean, too much is going on right now. And this is the problem I'm seeing from Formula 3. They get picked up so early on in these rounds. I mean, look at the wall bangs here. They're just knocking these players out. Gears getting knocked out there. And their butt is just peeking through the wall. They got to be careful about how they approach this. Otherwise, they're going to be knocked out themselves. There we go. Gears opening up this wall pretty soon here. Frag going in, but I think it's not going to quite hit where they needed it to. And it looks like Crimson goes for the swing. Gets the 2K. Can they end this all? It comes down to just Resi there. That is going to be tough right now. That is it as they finish that. And Jim's willing to TK for that pick there. I mean, I didn't think I would be able to capture this 2K here, but Crimson goes for the swing. Gets the 2K in the end. And it's just, I'm not sure if it's a miscommunication thing going on right now with F3, but it's just been challenging, I think, for them here to get really any value. Because, again, they keep losing these players so early on in this round here. And the momentum is picking up for Valor. I mean, 4 in a row cooking. I mean, let's check out. Look at the economy here. Red stacked with 5K. Shark with 4K. Jim with 27. IADAP with 6. Like, Valor is just stacked in cash at this point. F3 is really struggling right now. I mean, let's see. Flighty in the chat, you know, shout out. It says chalk F3. It's hard. Someone said F3 playing too scared. You know, I don't think that. They're playing a little aggressive sometimes, and they're getting picked too early, right? And you got to be careful with some of those early plays there, because they're just getting knocked out by these wall bags, really. They're just not expecting them for some reason. But here we go. Very similar setup we've seen before. Oh, Resi actually gets that long shot there. I did not expect that. As they already got that pick there. C3PO getting a little bit of chip damage, I think, from that frag earlier. Stupington probably checking out this room that was giving them problems earlier as Jim's trying to shut it down with the incendiary in hand. Oh, Rezi gets that pick there. That's already 2 in a round for Rezi now. This is looking like a different Formula 3. Finally, we're seeing some picks pretty early on here, as that Smoke's going to be really denying any pushes. As they run into each other, Snoop sets it up. Now coming down to just eye adapt and Red. This might have been too aggressive of a defense now from Valor. They might have been a little too confident from the last 4 round wins, which is valid. Totally valid, but we're seeing a very different F3 this time around as Riptington gets their own pick now, coming down just to eye adapt. Oh, and that's going to be it there. F3, I mean, 5 players up. You can't beat that. Shout out to Hertage, though. $5. I forgot to pay Martini for the drink. You're totally fine. Yes, I appreciate it. I feel like I'm just kind of hanging out. Today is just going to be more casual cast because it's just me for the whole cast here. For Valor, F3, and then, you know, the next game is going to be Acer and Zero. But yeah, yeah. We are seeing a very interesting gameplay coming out here. Formula 3, though, finally getting their first round in the last 5 rounds, right? Very challenging for them against Valor right now. But I think this shows the momentum is very much on Valor's side. But again, we can't count F3 out. I'm hoping it's just a side difference here. Otherwise, Valor is just built different, and they're going to knock down F3. If they're on this trajectory, they might genuinely be able to get this done in 2 here. But I always want to give the other team credit because you just never quite know. I mean, that previous round, we saw a switch up from F3 there, and they shut down Valor with 5 players up. You literally can't get any better than that. Yeah, they're going for this wide attacks again. 1, 2, 3. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Formula 3 players all over the place. 2 only together. 4 here now. And 1 deep one there coming out from Gears. But Valor, again, aggressive on these defenses. 1, 2, 3 players extended from the side here. Shark the Cat now going in for the swing here. They might be able to catch Snoopington if they get just the right angle. I feel like they might see them. Oh, as Snoop shuts down Crimson, and there's Shark able to get the next player up. But now only 2 players in that site here. Jims picks up a second one there. But now they are going to get refrag themselves. They are going trade for trade at this point. As it looks like Shark the Cat on the back end does get picked up by the 3 Formula 3 players in on that. Rexiel, Martin, whom on Chaos Casters, I will carry you to finals. No, that is Chaos Casters is for fun. If you're a caster, I can put you on, but nothing more than that. As you can see, a swing from Iatep, but it gets red. And what is going on here? I mean, Valor was such in good form, and now they're losing F3 almost single-handedly here. And shout out to some of these skins, though. Beautiful skins, I gotta say, in the current bundles coming out here from Triangle Factory. Look at that. I think it's just bright and beautiful. Oh, his Reeves almost got the perfect push there. They're going to really shut down that corner as Red gets picked up and swings on the incendiary there. That's going to be rough right now. But the F3 again has been very much in form. At least the last 2 rounds here. I got to say the last 2 rounds because the last 5, 6, very different game, right? But yeah, no, unfortunately, Chaos Casters is only 4 casters. But if you're a caster and you want to join the Chaos Casters with me and Gravy and Shimi and Bob and everybody, let us know. But you gotta do casting, unfortunately, and unfortunately, you gotta be in the NA region, I think. Can't really have us play in different regions. But hey, we're having a blast. We'll probably jump in next season. We're not gonna be Master Tier. I know we're not gonna be Master Tier, but it's just for the fun, right? Is Zero beating Acer, Splunge? No, unfortunately. Like, I saw Zero play. They played so hard against Empire in the CCs, but I didn't see them play good enough to knock out a team like Acer. Acer's very much in form. If it was maybe last season, I could see some weird upset. We saw the Apex upset, right? I don't think so, though. Acer's very good form right now. And Zero played good, but not amazing. Oh, my goodness. Anyways, we do have a lot of shots coming in here right now. Coming in. What is going on? Alright, as we are having shots in here coming out from the Valor attack here. Waiting for something to really develop here. Gears. Trying to get some early shots, but nothing quite connecting yet. Oh, they're going for the peak. Gears gets to pick off on Jims now. Now leaving only 2 players left in the corner. Shut that one down. Just picks up another pick there, but Stark gets that refrag, and I up with their own refrag now at this point. 3v3 right now for the Formula 3 squad. They can still make this one work out, and I'm waiting to see if Valor has any last-ditch efforts. They're going for the incendiary, but there might be another peek here. No, they keep going in for the bait. As Rezi goes in for the bait, gets picked up. C3PO tries to pick up another. Might have been too aggressive. This is only a 1v2, but I mean, it's 1 health in hand. Can Reaps get the pick here? They can't! As IDEP shoots through them there in the end, and that's gonna work out right now for the Valor squad. Yeah, I mean, this is just challenging right now for F3. I was hoping we could see something come back in terms of their performance, but they've been lacking, right? We've seen them lacking the last couple rounds, unfortunately. We saw them come back towards the later part of that first round, and I'll chalk this up to maybe Formula 3 does need to warm up potentially for their first game here against Valor, because Valor is very much warmed up. I mean, 5-2 already is going into this second half with good performance. They won that pistol round here. I wouldn't be shocked if they picked up another round here. Formula 3 would have to basically keep doing clutch plays, and I don't think that's coming out here, unfortunately. Martin, do I count? Count for what? Oh, Hertage. Honestly, you might be able to count as a caster. Just hit up. I think Gravy's count. I forget who's captain of Chaos Casters. You gotta talk to Gravy. I don't. Yeah, I think that's our only captain. I don't know if we have a co-captain. Honestly, maybe Plague was co-captaining. I'm not sure. But as we go into this upcoming round here, F3 is gonna be staring down the barrel as they try to figure out themselves how can they come back and make something work here. Because right now, Valor has been dominating. 5-2 right now, as they are not going to have any hero buys, but some good or risky buys here. But we're seeing that same... Oh, wait, where did that happen? Rezi on the back end there knocks out Crimson. And they're going to basically just get that pick and bank that for later. Lay off the Za. Sorry, y'all. I am having to cast by myself is, again, it's giving so many memories back to when I first started casting. It's just like hilarious, but it's tough, y'all. It's tough being here solo. So we'll hopefully see. I think tomorrow I'm picking up with Nightfire, thankfully, so it'll be fun. But everyone's busy this week. I think Bob's on vacation. Plague Doctor might be busy too. Everyone's been busy. It's been challenging the last couple weekends, y'all. Like, there's just been I want to cast as much as I can, but there's just not enough body, unfortunately. Oh, his Gears on the back end there, knocking out Jim. Jesus, that's such a long name. Jim is knocked out there. Now leaving only 2 now for the Valor side here. Someone said put tank. Yeah. You know what? I wish I could just pick up casters like that. Hey, if anyone wants to cast for next season, let us know. We're always training new casters. I always want more people on the casting desk here because you can't go wrong with more casters in the community. And I would say if you're a competitive player, I think you always you bring so much more to casting, right? I see that in Yellow Hat. I see that in Gravy, Shimi. These guys have been playing for so long. They're great casters. They know so much about the game in and out. And they give such a different perspective as Gears knocks out Red there, leaving only 2 left now. They go in for the Impy plan. Snoop goes in for the swing, gets the 2K in the end there, but that's going to be a pick as they themselves will unfortunately die out that one. I mean, at this point, right, for F3 to really win this one out, they got to play perfectly. Otherwise, they're going to be going into overtime territory, right? Yeah, Valor, if they get 1 more, that's going to give them 6 rounds. And that's going to give them overtime territory here, which is going to be rough for the F3 squad. You don't want to put in all this work to basically play a perfect game and still have to fight it out in the very end there. And obviously right now, actually, F3 has a little bit more points. So if they go to overtime, it might be working out in their favor. But as we've seen, you don't want to bank on overtime, right? Because overtime, I've seen it time and time again where you got either the exact same site that you lost on, or you get a site that maybe is disadvantaged for the side that you choose, right? Make Juice viral caster. He's a flipping goat. Juice, hey man, you gotta tell, they gotta put in applications. They gotta tell us to pick him up, because, you know, like, tell Bob, like, he goes through these applications all the time, y'all. And make sure they answer the questions well. Banned maps is gonna be Skyscraper and Mall are the banned maps again. So Arctic now being out of the rotation here, so we'll probably be seeing probably one of the original two at some point. I would be shocked if we did not see Factory or Hideout, right? They're gonna have to choose one of those two at some point. I wouldn't be shocked if Ship came up. Ship gets commonly chosen for these sort of games. Anyways, Valor now off to, they were on a good momentum here, but it's almost slowed down to a halt, right? I'm seeing Formula 3 really hold things down here. Streepsington just keeps going in for wall bangs at this point. But Shark the Cat now setting up for this breach. Looks to Valor finally approaching the side pretty soon here. But Valor themselves, very wide attack, right? You see two players on the rooftop there, 3 here. They might be coming in pretty soon. IDOB getting a little bit of incendiary damage. There's that frag, goes in deep. Doesn't really quite touch Shark, unfortunately. Very long around right now from Valor. Is he going for the swing? Oh, and that's going to be advantageous. Snoop gets the first pick. Goes for the second pick. That's a third pick on the back end there from C3PO. But Crimson goes in for their own refrag at this point. Can they get another pick? They do. But refragged from Crimson there. I'm just going to get that replay for later because that was beautiful. So much killing in about, I think, 3 or 4. Pick up a Juice for cast. I'm telling you, like, tell them to put in an application, because I think some people just, I will say this, being a league caster is so fun and cool, but you do gotta play the different rules, and not everybody likes that, unfortunately, right? Some people don't like that, so maybe that's why they don't apply. Comes in here now, getting ready. It's going to be challenging, right? Again, it's 1v2 situation coming up for the Valor players here. Looks like the Incendiary coming out there. Crimson gets the pick in the end. Are they ready for Resi, though? They are not, and they do get picked up in the end there. Formula 3 barely scraping by on that previous round here, but a round nonetheless. 4 and 5 now coming up. He brings the Juice. I feel like I've seen, I don't know if I've seen Juice's casting. I always say if someone wants to get into casting, they need like help getting boosted sooner. Always reach out. I do a good job, I think, at pushing people to Bob and all of them, because I do training with them. So if Juice is that good of a caster, tell him to reach out to me or Bob or Plague or someone to connect them and plug them into the game. Because I am always more excited to get more casters on the cast than less. Trust me. I mean, every season I help get new casters on. I think I put on Plague Doctor last season, Shimi last season. 2 seasons ago was Gravy. I think Gravix or Pillow, one of them I helped put them on. I love helping people out. You know, I've done it for 2-3 seasons now, right? All right, Chad, who do we think is going to win this one here? We have Formula 3 now, 4 and 5. We have Valor, 5 and 4. What's the percentage win right now for Formula 3? On their momentum, I'm giving like 60, 65. It's going really good. It's like I'm trying to keep my eye on Chad and the game because so much is going on here. And I feel like solo caster, you're more like going to just talk to the chat, right? What else can I do here? But anyways, Valor now getting ready for this push pretty soon here. They've already attacked. Oh, Gears goes in for the Aragon. Can they go for the 2? No, they can, as they get knocked out by Jims there. Snoopington barely escaping, but still gets picked up in the end here. Valor, this is the push that might finally work out for them as they send in one flashbang, maybe two. I heard a second one there. No, that's actually a frag going in deep, as they still do avoid that one here. Another flash. Look at that. They can feel those flashes. The frags going in. They got the EMP touch. They're really trying to bait out this EMP. Oh, and Shims gets a lot of chip damage there. That was a beautiful double play there with the static. Again, another flash. They have so many flashes on the Valor attack here. Oh, and Shark knocks him down. That's a beautiful line right down there. The Incendiary is finally going to allow Valor to get to that EMP planted, but it does shoot them down here. Jims goes in for the swing. Doesn't quite connect. That Incendiary is going to shut him down, unfortunately, but it still gets him to play here for this 2v2 situation. Now coming down to just Red and IDAP. If they play this perfectly, they're going to be able to get a win and at least guarantee themselves overtime here. But F3 can really shut this one down if they play their cards right. Red going to go in for the peek now. Going for the blind fire. Does peek up Reachington. Knocks down IDAP, but they can't finish the game here as Red shuts that one down. And that's going to be another one in the pocket for Red. Sorry, for Valor. Not Red, but Valor. Oh, man, you know, for C3PO, I thought for a quick second that might have been a clutch play. They got the first pick. They couldn't quite finish that second pick here, but unfortunately, that is just how it goes. Juice was the one who cast it. Oh, I didn't even watch that one. Yeah, tell Juice to... Juice, what the heck? Reach out to us. You know the casters. I think some people get nervous just to apply. Like, I remember when I first started getting into casting, it was like Echo VR way back in the day. I was nervous to do casting. Like, it took like a year before I built up the confidence. So not everyone's comfortable being like an official caster, right? It does take time to develop, but hey, I always say, like, I'd rather you come in and train with us, because honestly, a lot of the VRML casters at this point, we're all pretty, I think, professional and pretty good at what we're doing. I've casted for other leagues, and they're rough. I will say VRML is one of the best in terms of having professional casters that know what they're doing and have beautiful assets. Here, as we are coming, am I talking too much, Chad? Sorry, it's just me right now, so if I'm talking too much, I can just stick to the game here. But if you like to chat, I can keep going. It's just, you know, I'm alone. It's kind of lonely, so I gotta just kind of yap, as y'all know what I do best here. As Shark come down the hatch here at this point, Gears trying to use the Uricon to good advantage at this point. Rezi gets the peek there, knocks out Jims, but they are stuck in that room. They are committed to that room at this point. Oh, that frag's gonna be beautiful! That's an S. Oh no! The S-tier frag was stolen by Snoop! And Rezi does knock that one out there. That is Rezi getting so much value. I think I got 1 or 2K in that room alone here. So it's very, very advantageous right now. But IDAP might have been able to hear the Gears on this little corner here. Hopefully he doesn't give them away. At this point, I would just say don't play aggressive. They got the picks. They got the numbers advantage. Just kind of play your angles. Oh, his Gears couldn't do it, but Rezi somehow gets a 3K in that room. Again, how is Rezi getting more picks in that room alone? They have like 10 health. Not coming out, just IDAP at this point. No EMP in hand. They got to retake side at this point, but they weren't ready for Reapsington in the end there. Someone said flashes are broken. I wouldn't call them... I haven't played with them in game yet, so I can't really call it. But I'm going to be honest, if flashes are on the level of incendiaries and frags, I think that's a good thing. That means all utility is useful now. That's a good thing, right? But let me pull up this replay here as Gears was holding his corner for so long, but couldn't even get the pick, unfortunately, in the end there. I was really hoping we would see something come out there, but, Rezi, again, gets that pick in the end. And it's just hilarious to see how many picks happen in that room alone by Rezi. But here we are. We're coming into overtime territory at this point. Valor can shut this one out. Win a 7-5 against against F3 at this point. But F3 has the potential to come back, get that overtime. And let's see, based off of points, they would be the one to choose the side here. I mean, look at it. Snoopington, 12 and 10 there. Right, a lot of kills, but a lot of deaths. So, I mean, it kind of evens out in the end. Reapsington, though, 9 and 7. A lot of good picks there, but also Valor. I mean, 10 and 10. 2 double-digit players on their side here. I beat your... Okay. Need echo casting on our breachers. I would love something like that. As we are coming into this round here, Valor already, I think, trying to move faster. 30 seconds in the round. Not really much chip damage here, but Gears on the bottom there. We'll see if we get a pick in the end there. Yeah, I do miss echo casting. I think that's what we're kind of sort of seeing with Orion Drift, but unfortunately, we just never got quite to that level here. Keep talking, Martini. Your voice is soothing, Pookie. Okay. Sometimes I feel like my voice sounds weird or like funny. I feel like when you hear your own voice, it just sounds grating, right? But this is going to be very vital. Can Gears really get some value on his roaming here? They got to play this right. Otherwise, Valor is going to basically secure themselves this first map win here. Average Martini, yes. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just me. I'm going to be talking the whole time, right? Oh, it's Rezzy knocks out Crimson. Can they get another? No, the Flash denies them the second pick. Snoop gets their own here. And Snoop somehow gets a 2K in the end there. I adapt. Does get the refrag there. No, Gears can't get the pick in the end. Now come down just this 1v2. Gears might have thrown the game in the end. He's going in for the pick pretty soon here. Going for the swing. They got to time this right because Red is on the back end there. I'm not sure if I adapt has seen them. This has got to be played perfectly. No! As they get shut down in the end there, Valor played their cards right, and they won out that round. So much back and forth, right? I didn't know what to expect that round there. Formula 3, I was calling it out early, right? We'd seen the Gears get tremendous value as roaming. This is basically a shutdown round for F3, but unfortunately, we saw in the end there. I think I even had the camera on Gears. They couldn't get that pick. They couldn't get the pick in the end, and you gotta be very careful, right? When you do that roamer, they have to get the value, otherwise you are basically guaranteed to lose your team to site, right? Because they have less players on site at this point. And I was shocked because Formula 3, they got several picks earlier on in that round, and I thought it was gonna go their way. I thought it was gonna make it work out, but they couldn't clutch. They couldn't clutch in the very end there. So unfortunately, that is gonna be going the way of Valor. I think did I say Valor I expected to win there? I'm not quite sure. And y'all are hilarious. Y'all move fast. I had Juice is in my DM saying, "Why is everyone telling me to DM you?" And you know, W chat. I love how fast y'all move, because the fact that I think it was a span of like 10 minutes and Juice is already in my DM. So that is hilarious. I'll see if I can get Juice on the casting team there. So you know what? Thanks to the chat, thanks to the community. This is why I love the as much as I'm now involved in 2 communities with the Orion Drift, this is why I do have love for the Breaches community. I feel like we are a tight community. A lot of people know each other, and there's so much. I saw someone say, I wish we had the hype from season 2, and don't get me wrong, season 2 was hype, but I say season 3 was honestly more hype, right? I feel like the hype is still very much there. It's challenging, right? It also depends on the game's growth, but Breaches has a strong community. I mean, Gravy has helped build a lot of that too. I've hopefully invested in the community. I've tried my best to really bring up a lot of these casters. And myself now, invest community, play the game and that sort of stuff. So it's a strong community. I think it's a strong community. I don't know what else to say. It's a strong community. The vibes are always great. And the fact that chat has already gotten someone in my DMs to really get on the casting team is, I think, hilarious to me here. But we'll see if the teams are going to be getting started here immediately over there taking a break. They might be taking a break pretty soon here. Yeah, no votes here. So I think we're going to be taking a break pretty soon, y'all. So it looks like I will be taking us to an ad break. Hopefully we'll be here in not too long. I think just a couple minutes. It won't be too long, but I'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Only Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. And somebody
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the 2K.
Woo! All right, we are gonna be coming in pretty soon here. Again, sorry, Cass. I should have picked up a cough drop. Good match. Chad watching the living room on the big screen. Okay, Gravy, you couldn't hop on and help me in the cast. I see you in the chat. Anyways, but you know, shout out W Chats here because I mean I saw Juices in my DMs. He said he's interested in becoming a caster, so hopefully we get him set up for the upcoming season here, get some training done in the end. But we are gonna be going into a fan favorite map, or at least one of the top two, I would say, as we are gonna be getting started for a factory here. Good match, Chad. Watching in the living room on the big screen. You know, I feel like that line is just diabolical because it's Gravy, another caster, and y'all have heard me this whole cast. I'm complaining about solo casting, which is hilarious, you know. But hey, love to casters. I love seeing the other casters in the chat. I don't know what it is. It's just like it's just entertaining. That's why, like, whenever I can hop on, I do come in the chat, drop some. I always drop like $4 or $5. I'm like, you know, shout out to casters in the chat here. But hey, hopefully we can get another caster, maybe Juice. We'll see as we are getting started for this upcoming. Hold up, let me switch to these teams here. As Snoopington already off to a good start here. Snoopington, I've been seeing so many vital picks from Snoopington coming out here, but they got to really capitalize on this one here. As Valor, I think Valor and F3, I think both teams did swap out somebody. Someone said the older guys in tournament being on a ladder with peak VRML. Wasn't that like season 0? Peak VRML was season 0. That is I love that. I love that energy here. As Formula 3 now getting set up for this attack. Again, this is factory, right? When you think about factory, they gotta get as many points as possible here in order to really win out the whole map. Very slow round here. And a very deep one. I don't know if y'all noticed. Snoop on the very, very back end there playing that deep roamer. I think I might have seen one other roamer here. Crimson on the top here on 3rd floor. A lot of roaming plays coming out from both sides. As another flash. It is flash galore now with these updates. Gear gets the 2K in the end there. You know what? As much as I said last round, Gear sold. They did not sold that one. As I'm definitely going to give them that clip there. Gears with the 3K. Okay, Gears cook. Okay, Gears cook. Oh, as Crimson knocks down Gears on that 3K they were just running on. But can Crimson deny this plan here? I mean, they got 4 players up. They got control of the 3rd floor here. They almost knocked out Rezi. What is Crimson doing here? I don't know what is going on, but they have picked already one of the F3 players. Can they get a couple more? I don't think so. That's going to be it for this round for the Valor players. But nonetheless, a valid attempt here. As let me just pull up that replay here. You know, I was I know people did call me out last round talking about Gears might have thrown. And that was a rough round for Gears, but it doesn't matter. Gears got the 1-2. I missed it in the end there, but it's a 3K in the end. And y'all are really memeing Old Gravy right now. Wanted to give Martini some room in the app. I always have room in the app. Don't worry about that. Y'all weird. You know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I love y'all. Y'all are just funny. I do feel like the Breaches community is just kind of hilarious in chat. I've noticed that. I feel like on average, I have more time with the chat from the Breacher side. I think out of all communities so far, I have not seen a better chat community. Martini, save me, please. I'm sorry, Gravy. I cannot save you. You're not on cast with me. I'm so sorry. I think if Gravy talks in chat at this point, it looks like he's just gonna be copied to oblivion at this point. Unfortunately, you know, look at I love this. Oh my goodness. You know what? I love y'all. This is Y'all have made my day, considering that I am solo casting. This has made my day here. So F3 now getting started again on this attack here against Valor. Again, they got to really get as many points as possible on this attack here. Crimson now already trying to deny any attackers, but they did unfortunately call themselves out here. Oh, Crimson is sniping through this corner. Can they get another pick here? Can I get a better look at that? Can we get that? Oh, they get flashed, and it blinded me there, but Jims for the follow-up. That's a beautiful teammate follow-up there. And I think F3 might not be able to make do with this. It's now down 2 players on the attack here. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to recover because this is looking challenging. I mean, Crimson is just being a thorn in the side there, just really denying that push there. Oh, Reap goes in for the swing. They own the side at this point, but they don't have the EMP. They don't have the EMP. The EMP is right there in the corner, y'all. It's right there in the corner, F3. Oh my goodness, they messed up. They don't have the EMP as Shark knocks down a Reapsington. They got to fight this one out at this point as Chewbacca goes in for the swing. Doesn't deny it, and now only leaving a Shark with 10 health in hand here. This would have been potentially a win for the F3 squad here, but they didn't have the EMP on them. I'm sorry, F3. That was winnable. I honestly think that was winnable. I mean, they had sight at one point. They could have just denied it. They could have maybe done some weird breaching, go out to... No, they couldn't do that. They would just have to hold sight at that point. But that's still something. I need some mods in the chat for... you know, I love people memeing Gravy. But hey, he was a meme master. Like, who else are you going to meme besides Gravy at this point, right? So... I say, Gravy, you gotta just be happy. Be happy the chat is giving you love, right? I mean, you're watching your team right now, F3. They're doing a solid. They lost 7-5 on that first game, unfortunately, here. But they did at least get one round right now on the attack. They can get one more. I honestly think they got this one in the bag. But again, we haven't seen Valor on attack. They could have surprised me. But I am hoping we're going to map 3 here. It feels like it's close enough on this factory map that we're going to a map 3. I'm putting it into the universe right now. I want to see a map 3 come out here and see a great tiebreaker coming out for both of these teams. As again, F3 now getting started here. Very solid push here. Self flash coming out there from Chewbacca, unfortunately. I do like, though, they did buff too, like, if you flash your teammates, I think it's like 50% less time now for getting flashed, which is good. I think that was definitely needed, because you shouldn't be able to flash your teammates the same amount, right? As the red getting a lot of damage here, getting a lot of chip damage. As so much utility coming out of the red, though, getting shot down. Supington barely getting that one out before the flash denied them that vision. The floor is lava right now. But IDAP can hold this one down if they play the cards right. Chewbacca gets the swing. Rezi gets the pick. Crimson, though, gets the refrag. They have sight again. They got to get this plant down. Ooh, Jims is playing this deep corner. Reaps, I'm going to be honest. I think you just got to play it. You got to play it. Oh, Crimson denying Rezi in that warehouse. Can they deny 2 more? They can! Oh my gosh! Talk about a clutch. I mean, let's pull this up here. This is a talk about a beautiful clip here. Clip it moment for sure. as Crimson gets that first pick coming into sight there. It gets the 1-2. Unfortunately, the lineup was just too perfect in the end. I think it might have been recoverable for F3, but it was challenging, right? We saw, I think it was Jims was hiding. Who was, no, it wasn't Jims. It was Super or Representant, someone like that. Someone was stuck in that corner there, and they just could not get out until Valor pushed. But that was too late, obviously, in the end there. Tanky is Chewbacca. Oh, okay. I wish people just had the same names, you know, just so I know who's who. Otherwise, I have to make so many guesses. Because I don't keep up with people's names like that, honestly. But here we go, F3. Come on, we need to see one more round in the pocket here. Otherwise, Valor is going to shut them down here. Because, again, they've been performing so well tonight. 7-5 on that first map. Now leading pretty well with the momentum now on this defensive half. But here we are seeing F3 again on this third floor site here. We saw them do well. We saw them get sight last time. But the problem is we've seen them, I think, several times where, as they were not outside the frame, unfortunately, they get denied that. As Tim now gets knocked down for the count. You know, just small mistakes, I think, is what's getting F3 right now. But Valor, I mean, check this out. This defense a lot more conservative this time around. They're not really playing deep in on the sites like they normally do with, you know, as we've seen on the previous map and even the other sites on the same map here. I hope Formula 3 does play this differently. I hope they, again, have the EMP in hand because that was a mistake they had made last time. I think they're trying to get one more pick before they push in here. Oh, but Shark gets a pick. Crimson with a follow-up there. As the Gears decides to commit to the room. Does get knocked down. Now coming down to Rezi. As that's going to be a flawless coming out there from Valor. And I'd seen a great momentum from Formula 3 in round 1, round 2. But it's very, very much going towards the way of Valor at this point. I don't know if we can pull that up real quick. Nope, never mind. That is just flawless. The flawless. You know, we gotta see one more win from F3. We just gotta see one more win, I think, from the F3 players. Otherwise, I'd be a little worried for them. I can see Valor playing very effectively on the attacking half here, and F3. You know, I'm an F3 fanboy. You know, Gravy in the chat knows. And y'all not think I mean, you know, Gravy in the chat knows I got love very much for the crowd and for the team, but come on, F3, cook. I need to see y'all cook. I say this every playoff season. I always say y'all got the love here. And sorry, Valor, I'm definitely sounding like I'm glazing F3, but y'all are doing a good job. Y'all don't need me to glaze you. Y'all don't need me to glaze you. Just keep performing well. That's exactly what, you know, Valor is doing. You're performing well and consistently, I gotta say. Oh, and Snoopy gets shot down by 2 different players there. And Valor, I mean, talk about just denying them even getting into the map yet. And I am noticing, though, Valor is switching up now, playing all players on site, maybe one extended. They're not playing that roamer role anymore. I think they might have learned their lesson where they just weren't getting as much value. Rezi coming into sight here. Oh, that's gonna be great to know. They gotta get the plan pretty soon here. Rez now gets blinded. Pass be played well. Oh, Rezi does not die them. Another flash coming out in the end as Crimson gets knocked down. This might be the second round that Formula 3 needs to win. Gears gets another 2K. Chewbacca goes in for the swing, and that is going to win them the round there. F3 finally getting another round in the pocket there. Cam in the chat, is this the only match today, or is another one being casted? There is another match right after this. It's going to be Acer versus Zero, the winners of the CCs that just finished last weekend. So if you want to watch Acer Top Squad playoff against the 8th seed, definitely stick around after the action here, as that will be the second matchup today. And that's it for today. Tomorrow is going to be, I got to double check chat. I think it's, where is it? Tomorrow's IVNA versus SVNA, I believe, the first game, and Fusion versus Valiant is tomorrow. Today is just Valor versus F3, and then Acer versus Zero after this. But there you go. Formula 3 now getting that second round in the pocket. That might be enough to allow them to win, I think, this game out here. But now coming into round 6 here, can we see good performances again? We're seeing some clone projectors come out here. A lot of utility being bought for the attack. But Valor, again, that deep defense right now. Sorry, not deep. That close defense right now. Can this one work out? It's been mixed bag, I think, the last couple rounds for Valor, but it has worked for them, I think, more times than not in the end. What is going on there? Crimson gets the picks off there. Not picks, sorry. Wall damage. Wall chip damage in the end. Formula 3, this is going to be the last push they get. Breach is coming out now. Oh, Red knocks out Gears. In the back, unfortunately, they couldn't get any picks. Crimson gets another one. Chewbacca with the follow-up. But now IDAP stuck in the corner there. Reeves is going to take almost a fracture to the face there. Shark knocking out Reeves. I mean, we're just seeing one player down by another player in the end. Chewbacca trying to come in here, trying to sneak in really quick. Jims almost gets the pick. Resi knocks out Crimson. Now in a 2v2, these two teams are coming down to the very end here, and I think it's still anyone's game because both teams are equipped with one-shot headshot rifles. It's anyone's game at this point. Resi able to secure that one and knock them out. Now coming down to just Jims in the end. Can they win this one? Looks like they're deciding to go for the rotation here on the A side. Chewbacca taking a lot of face damage from that breach, but not enough to kill them. Here's Jims. Might have to go for rotate. I'm curious, how can they approach this? This is going to be it. Coming down to the count. Oh, Resi knocks that one out for the count, and that's going to be it for F3. Now 2, but 3 in this first half here. Yeah, that was good. That was good. So F3 now on the defense here. Technically, they should have the advantage. I mean, 3 rounds in the pocket should give them just enough to scrape by and get that 7-3 potentially if they win the next 4 rounds here. Otherwise, Valor, I expect to put up a good game. You know, dare I say, maybe 7-5 themselves for map 2 here for F3, because the way I look at it, if F3 can get that many wins on attack, they should be that much better on defense. You know what I mean? Yeah, F3 locking on defense. They gotta lock in here. They have to, right? They lost the first map. They don't have space to lose a second map here. They gotta secure this and force this to a tiebreaker on a map 3 here. As Jims goes in for the Skinwalker treatment here. That's a new skin, obviously, coming out by the Breach by Triangle Factory. Yeah, that's something I've noticed. A lot more bobbleheads going on in the spectator client. But hey, enjoy the show while you can. I'll probably patch that out at some point. Look at that bobble. It's just hilarious. I mean, look at this guy. It just looks funny to me. Oh well. Anyways, Valor now getting set up for this push here. Snoopington trying to get that decision to really deny the zone, but they are able to push by. Where was that shot coming in from? As Reapsington does shut it down. Can they get a second? No, they can't, but Chewbacca there for the follow-up. Shark, though, now on a sight. Oh, Gears in the back. Finally getting some roaming value there. Okay, there's too much going on. They're so spread right now. The Shark gets picked up. Now coming down to just Crimson in a 1v3 situation. I don't know. Yes, the team is aware of where they are. They decided to go in for the swing. Gets to pick up with the incendiary follow-up. Can they get the second? No, they can't. And that's going to be another round in the pocket for F3, but definitely a contentious round. Whew. Sorry, I'm trying to like conserve my energy. It's that's one thing I think you have to learn when you're a solo caster. You can only talk so much, right? When you talk so much, your throat like get tired, kind of gets wiped out, and you got to conserve it because I have a whole nother game after this. Whole other game. But can we talk about that? Let's see. F3, I think, coming in with style in that previous one. But I will say, Valor tried to really ramp it up, right? They came in really fast, I think, at one point with the attack. It was coming in really hot, but they were unfortunately getting picked one by one. They had a couple, standout players. They were getting the 1-2K in the end, but it wasn't enough to really eke them out over that and get that win against F3. F3, I think, was just more consistent in that defense that previous round here. But Valor, I'm telling you, they got the chops for it. Doesn't mean they can't win in an upcoming map here. Oh my goodness, that Skinwalker add-on goes crazy apparently. Let's see what we are working with here. No buys coming out from the F3 squad, and the same thing. Gears decides to go swings on Jims, gets knocked down for the count. Goober, I'm here for Martini. Thanks, Goober. I appreciate that. A lot of chat is very, very active right now. I love that. Oh my goodness. Chewbacca, they're going to be playing on that back end. Maybe picking up someone later on in the round. But we'll see if they take their time here. As the Valor now getting ready for these breaches pretty soon here. Shark, though, does pick up Resi. Oh, Chewbacca in the end gets the pick, but gets refragged themselves. Now down to just Reapsington and a Snoopington. Too many different long names. In a 2v4. But I mean, check out the health differences. We're seeing Shark on 4. We're seeing Jims on 60. It's not impossible to come back here as they do get a second pick there in the end. They got to play this right and play it right now. Otherwise, they will be losing pretty soon. Oh, Crimson shuts it down. Can Snoopington shut down the next one? They go for the swing. They get knocked out. Crimson gets the 2K in the end. That is going to be a big deal for the Valor players. That was good. I mean, I don't know. I was going to say Formula 3 was going to lock in on his defense. And this is what I love, though. This is what I love in the community. Even a map like Factory that's been talked about how it's been figured out 10 different times. The fact that I can be shocked and see a teams, because there's 2 of them here, consistently perform well now on the attack is mind-blowing to me, right? Because I remember back to season 1, 2, for anyone to secure wins on attack for Factory was kind of insane, right? You were hoping for 1 or 2, maybe. But for us to see this in playoffs where someone's able to get really good rounds here, I love it. The fact that they're getting more wins on attack is what's mind-blowing to me. It feels like at this time. Oh, and look at this defense. It's aggressive here as Rezi now going to be playing very deep with Gears themselves. Yeah, they are going to be denied there. Crimson getting picked out already. Gears playing aggressive against Chewbacca as their follow-up, and that Incendiary barely scrapes by. Oh, they didn't play the cards right. And Shark, the cat on the top end, knocks him down. Adapt with a follow-up there. Valor is shutting down F3 at this point. Already 3 players down, sorry, on the F3 side. Oh my goodness. Chat needs to not be active. You know what? I want an active chat right now, Gravy. You know why? Because I am solo casting, and it makes me not bored. Not bored, but like, you know, I just, it's like you want people talking with you. But a lot of silence actually for the last couple minutes. Jim's gonna be taking a lot of chip damage there from the Incendiary. Snoop barely scraping by. As the IDAP does swing that one, and that's gonna be a denial for F3. They can't hold the side down, and Valor does win that one out here. Look at that. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Valor. You know, Valor, if you win this map too, I'm going to drop $5 in the chat. I'm going to drop $5 in the chat because, I mean, S3's on defense. They should be able to deny this win, at least go to overtime, right? But if Valor is built like that, can I throw it in circles? I'm trying to think. I don't think I can. Oh, the old bread and butter. Yes, with the old bread and butter, we have it here on a Factory. But Valor, I'm gonna say right now, if y'all cook, y'all get the second game here. I'm gonna throw $5 in the chat and say credit to you for shutting down F3. And I'm sorry, Gravy. I'm sorry, Gravy. I'm sorry. So Gravy, Angel, all the F3 squad, y'all know I ride or die for F3. Y'all know I do. Y'all know I do. Here we go, bobbleheads in the toe. This is going to be a critical round. If Valor can get another win, they've guaranteed themselves at least overtime. F3 is not going to want to have that happen here. And let's check out this F3 defense. Again, aggressive. Reapsington and Rezi on the back end there just for that follow-up. Probably going to be seeing this hatch play that we saw previously from Valor. Gotta play the cards right here. No picks on any side. No chip damage either. It's definitely shocking. Oh, Iodap on the back end knocking out Rezi. Might be it. Coming down the deep frag. Chewbacca getting knocked down. The Incendiary, the flashes. Everything is coming in to really deny this defensive hold now from F3. And this might be exactly what Valor needed. Oh, they go for the swing. That's not enough. The frag, though, is enough to really knock out Red down for the count. But still a 2v4 right now. against the Valor's 4. Can they do something? Snoopington goes for the swing, misses it. Not coming down to just Reachington in the end in a 1v4. It doesn't matter as Valor is going to shut them down here in the end. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's tough. It is tough right now, I think, for these players here. I might get a cough drop, I think, after this game, but they have Valor has secured themselves, Chad. They have secured themselves the overtime for this map here. If they cannot win this one out, they still have overtime to fall back on. F3 though has to play a perfect game for the next 3 matches in order to win out. Otherwise, chat, we might be going home early. We might be going home early. And F3, I think someone called it. They said Valor in 2. And I was like, no way. We're going to 3. We're going to 3 here. But I want to see something win here. Martini throwing it back at Valor. I don't know if I'm throwing it back. I'll drop the $5 new. Oh my goodness. Y'all are chat is active. I'll say that for sure. Chat is active. Oh, as that frag goes in. No one there really on receiving him besides the Crimson. Oh, timed out. Oh my goodness. Timing's gonna have to be perfect here. Can Snoop barely misses eye attempt? Somehow eye attempt flicks. What is that? Here we go. They are just shutting down these players' gears. Tries to knock someone out. Chewbacca down for the count, but Reaps gets that wall bang. I don't know, chat. This is everywhere. Rezi gets the flashbang. Oh, the trip mine comes. He clutched it. Now a 2v3. This is still recoverable here. Can I adapt? No, they can't get him. Now Reapsington in a 1v3. Oh no! Insert Theory denies them the follow-up by Shark. It was just all-out chaos for F3 here, and I mean, let's see if I can get... Did I have a replay this round here? I mean, this is how this round looked right now for F3. IADAP, I'm going to be honest, should have lost this engagement. Still snaps back, knocks him down, and talk about beauty coming out from the Valor squad there. Oh, man. Wow, chat. I mean, you can see right here. Check out the replays to my right here. Let's see. Someone says flashes are allowing Valor to win these attack rounds. I truly believe that's who would have won this map if it was pre and nerf. I get that, but I think that's the thing we've learned with Breachers, right? Meta's changed. The Triangle Factory will modify a lot of different things. We've learned they don't care, you know, not that they don't care, but they are going to push out their changes, you know, even during the middle of these playoffs and tournaments we have going on. And it's really on the teams to adapt sooner than later. And you're right, I saw a lot of good flashes coming out from Valor. So many flashes coming out from Valor. You know, I'm not sure if that's the sole reason they had won today, but definitely a contributing factor, right? When you get 1 or 2 early round picks and really shut them down, oh my goodness, that's gonna be good, right, for them. We saw that a lot with F3. They were losing, I think, a lot of their early rounds on either side, and you know, it's kind of hard to come back when you have 3 or 4 players. It's hard. You can do it, but it's hard, right? And that's a big ask to ask here. But I mean, check out Valor's performance here. I did make a promise. I was hoping we would go to a map 3. Unfortunately, here, let's see what can drop. In the chat. Yes, I am dropping cash on a cast that I'm actively on right now. But Dubs in the chat here. I'm hoping What's going on here? Did I spoil, unfortunately? Oh no, someone unfortunately... Snoop, you accidentally spoiled it. You're gonna see it in the end though. I mean, I'm watching the 3 minutes left here. I mean, Breachington in a 1v3, how do you beat that? You had the Incendiary come out in the end there. It was just too challenging, right? You're gonna have iDaptor on the swing, you're gonna have Shark there on the other swing. You gotta be John Wick in it. It was just too challenging in the end there. That was good. That was a good game, though. Good game from both sides here. Unfortunately, as we all know, with the playoffs, that is going to be knocking F3 out for the count here. So, unfortunately, they cannot move any further. Valor, congratulations. You did win, and you did it in style. 7-5, 7-4. You did it in 2. Someone called it on a map 1 here, and they definitely are apparently a fortune teller because y'all are going to be moving on to the upcoming rounds. We'll be seeing y'all probably next, I think it's next weekend. We'll be seeing the next set of matches here. But, chat, that is going to be it for this set of matches. If you are still going to be sticking around, there is another game. Reminder, there is another game after this one. It's going to be the Acer versus Zero matchup, first versus 8th seed here. So we'll be seeing how that's going to be going on. But that'll be coming up in just a couple minutes here, as we will be taking a quick break. And I will be getting some cough drops because my throat is killing me here. But hey, I'll be back in not too long.
Prepare to
Only
start.
Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. Can somebody
Go.
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the 2K.
Match point.
Welcome back, y'all. We will be going obviously into the upcoming matchups. It's gonna be Acer versus Zero. Wanted to come in or bring us in early, just kind of hang out with the chat as we let things slowly slide in here. But let's see what are we going to be seeing in this upcoming matchup. I mean, Acer hot off of a strong season for them, and on the other end here we're gonna be having Zero. I think originally 11th spot in terms of their season rankings, but still making that CC's work out for themselves and being the champion as they won out. I believe it was against Empire, the previous CC champion. So definitely knocking out the incumbent, which is always an exciting thing to watch happen here. What do I expect? You know, this happens every year, every playoff season when it gets to this set of matches, and it's always the first and eighth. I'm always obviously expecting the first one to kind of dominate, get it done in two. But that's not to say that we won't see a good, admirable performance. I've seen it happen before. I think it was Restart one season holding up against Acer. They got a pretty good amount of round wins against them. They didn't end up working out in the end, but I was still genuinely surprised here. So I will say this. Don't count out Zero yet until the game is over, because I am excited to see what they can have happen here. But obviously Acer's been in good form this season. I mean, let's check out their W's and losses. 10-4. I mean, 71% win ratio. You can't really get that much better than that, besides just having, you know, wins all season. At Zero on the other end, 9-7. They've been around also themselves for such a long time. I finally did also get my hands on the bans. Looks like they're gonna be banning Sky and Maul. So it looks like these teams are very commonly choosing the same exact maps that they're gonna be banning, which is always fun. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be seeing any Skyscraper come out, which kind of breaks my heart, because I do love seeing teams dominate on Skyscraper here in the end. But that is not going to be the case, as they have banned those maps. And I'm shocked that we haven't seen Maul come out. It looks like every team is just choosing Maul and Sky. At least this is the second playoff match where Maul and Sky are both banned in their set of matches here. But we'll see how we are going to be going in. Looks like we are going into a crowd favorite. Hideout is going to be the first map here coming up pretty soon. I do want to give love to the chat. Thanks to everyone for coming out today and enjoying and you know, hopping along. I really appreciate everyone coming in here, because honestly, especially when it's solo casting like this, because again, everyone's busy. So don't blame the other casters. Everyone's busy right now. It's tough. Like, again, this brings me back to season 0 when we had, it was me, it was Bob, it was Nightfire, and that was it, man. You know, like we had Philibus too, but you know, he was like in and out. But you know, it's been a long journey in terms of this production team and where everyone's come from, and I'm excited to see, you know, how far we've come. Oh wow, I got 2 DMs about people casting. Wow, Dubs in the chat, y'all really want to cast this season. I love that. We need more casters. I will always say we need more casters. And honestly, I also hopped on early. I want to give chat a little bit of love. I think someone said throw it in the circle. I'll, you know, hold up. You know, Dubs in the chat, right? We're just dancing around here. I'm not gonna show my butt like that. But you know, I'm here to have fun with y'all and have a good time. I do keep my pants on even during cast. And some people, because you're not casting the lower half, they'll like have underwear on. I do always wear my pants just in case. You never know when you get up, and I don't want to be flashing anything on a cast, because things happen all the time, right? And you don't want to have that happen when you're casting. I've learned that in my years of casting. Just things happen. We gotta be careful about the room and everything else going on, right? But it looks like we do have all 10 players in the lobby right now. We'll be started pretty soon here, as actually Zero going to be starting on the defense here against Acer. And I'm just waiting for them to get started. Sounds good. Has to be good. Get started whenever. But I'm kind of curious, you know, Ban and Sky, I'm surprised. Do they... Maul is very low. Wow, and then Skyscraper is okay for Acer. I'm surprised I don't see Hideout on Acer's stat list there. I thought I would see more of it. Maybe it's worse than I thought. But Zero gonna be on, you know, on their advantage map right now. So that'll be fun to see how that plays out here. But these teams, I think, are getting started pretty soon here. I want to hop right into the action as we get started right now. I did get a cough drop. My throat is very much still coughing right now. You know, I've been sick for about, like, I think week and a half, 2 weeks, and I've casted through them. I don't know why today. I think because I'm solo casting, so I'm talking a lot more than I normally would be. So it hurts a lot more than I would have thought. But here we are. Oh my goodness. Oh. It's okay, chat. You know, what is it? F in the chat for respect. Oh well. But hey, let me know in the chat, who do you think you're expecting to win this map here? We have Zero and Acer. Again, Zero coming. Is that the correct logo? Hold up. Is there multiple zeros? Is that the right logo? Yeah. Yeah, that is, right? Oh well. I don't know why that looks different to me than their... I'm blind. Whatever. Who cares? Zero on the defense here. Acer on the attack. Can they deny them these first couple round wins? Hotline taking so much chip damage already, and obviously no syringes to follow this one up. Honestly, Zero off to a good start here already, but this is only 20 seconds into the round. You know, we always talk about how momentous Acer is, how well they play, the aura they hold against these teams, and honestly, I am shocked there's Uncle Ron gets knocked down by that Spectral here. We're going to be seeing a wide attack, right? 2 on the other side, 2 here. And it was what I was talking about earlier. I think Acer has exuded this sort of aura for such a long time, you know, being known as the top team in the league for, what, about 2-3 seasons, until IVNA had something to say about it last season. And Apex, arguably, because they did knock him out of the playoffs. So Acer has kind of a grudge. This is what... My goodness. These grudge matches, to me, this is Acer basically having grudge matches. They want to prove, hey, we're not washed. We can come back. We can do something about this, and showcase last season's playoffs was just a fluke here. So as much as Acer had a great season, it's also kind of them fighting back to earn that spot that they used to have. As now, that is going to be an even trade in terms of people here. Hotline trying to dodge any wall damage. They're so low for this. Isaac's getting a 2K in the end there as they go for the swing. Spunto for the follow-up, and Tech9 Jr. That's going to be it as Meachington, that's an interesting name. Meachington is now in a 1v3 here, as it was going so well for Zero, and it fell apart so fast. And, I mean, look at this Acer post-plant situation. 2 players on the outside. It's going to be hard to defend against here. EMP down. Tech9 Jr. there for the follow-up, just in case things fall apart. And Kazakh has a beautiful line of sight on them. Tech9 trying to follow up here, as they're going to be killing that timing. That's perfect play from Acer there. Not able to finish it up. Meachington able to knock down Tech9 Jr. A little bit of chip damage in the end, and LFT there for the follow-up. That's going to be it for Acer. Someone said Acer 7-0. You know, Normally, I don't expect blowouts. It's just so, even at this level, especially even with a 1-8, you know, seeding difference, it's hard to get a 7-0. It truly is. Breachers has so many different things going on sometimes. It's hard to really lock down 7 rounds in a row. I expect at least 1 or 2 going the way of 0, especially when they have like a halftime switch or something, you know, goes awry for Acer, right? Acer has basically make 0 mistakes for 7 rounds. And even then, 0 could just have crazy clutch play or like a luck play, right? Not to say it won't happen. It's just unlikely. You know, I'll say this, 7-0 to Acer. I'm dropping $5 in the chat. I'd be shocked if they got all 7 rounds in on map 1. If they got 7-0 on map 1, this is done in 2. And I'm having dinner early today. You know what I mean? Oh, but here we go. Yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat. Again, I love everyone hopping in, seeing what's going on here with the 0 and Acer matchup here. I know people don't have high expectations, but I will always say, don't be surprised. Remember, you gotta remember, 0 is sharp, and they had a whole weekend of just constantly hammering against these other teams. So they're at least, I'm hoping, warm to play against Acer right now. What is going on here? They're holding these angles tight here. LFT trying to go in for the setup pretty soon. The 0 is just laser focused. A lot of chip damage coming out there from the Incendiary. That's going to be a big deal there. As a reverse Incendiary comes out. And it looks like Jade is able to finish that one out. Mitchington with a follow-up. At this point, going in for the even trade. Kazakhs, never mind, shuts it down. Another frag going in deep. That knocks out Juice God now. Only, I was going to say 2, but now only 1 coming left alive here in Jaded. And it doesn't matter as Kazakhs is going to clean that one up here. I mean, Acer is just on a fire right now. Acer's cooking. I'll tell you that. I mean, I'll tell you that Acer's cooking here for the most part. I mean, 2, 1, 1, 5 picks there from Kazakhs, and Hotline with 1. It's looking great. I challenge you to a boxing match on Thrill the Fight 2. No, I'm gonna be honest. You're gonna cook me. I don't have the stamina right now to play Thrill the Fight 2. You would dominate me, and I don't want that. I want to just. I'll cast. I do have the Spectator Clan, I think, still for Thrill Fight 2. So maybe we can do like a casting night. That'd be fun, like a fun community night. Just have people kind of hop out and, you know, just go at it. I think it was hilarious that one time I was casting, I think Gravy, and he was, I forgot who was, someone was talking so much smack in the chat, and he beat them. Like, he beat them pretty well, I think, in Thrill the Fight 2. No, it was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. It was definitely hilarious to see someone who was talking so much smack get beat down. Here we go, Acer off to a great start, 2-0. As Jada here, already with a follow-up. Oh, LFT with the 2K. That is just gnarly, as they already have control of the garage site. Now, Meachington on the back end. That is going to be a very risky play. They got to do something there, otherwise this might be going downhill really fast, as Acer now going to be denying this. They got a 3K in the end there, and it looks like Splunge, and everyone is knocked down. I cannot keep up. That's how fast that they're moving here with a flawless from Acer. I mean, talk about a great start to this round. LFT already coming in here, not getting 1, but a 2K so fast, so quickly. And look at that. That is a top tier team there, right? When you see a team just come in, dominate, and take space, that is what you got to say. Acer 3-0. I'm gonna laugh if I have to pay $5 because Acer 7-0s this one. I would be shocked if 0 doesn't get a single round win here. They played so well last weekend. I saw the cast and it was enjoyable, and I'm hoping they get something against Acer, because I would say you can make Acer bleed. That showcases how far your team has come, honestly. But here we go, back to floor 1 here. We already saw them on floor 1. Things didn't quite work out for them in the end. They did get a couple picks, I remember, on that round. It worked out at the beginning of the round. I think they were able to shut down, was a hotline or someone else. And it started off so good. Some chip damage coming out there from that early frag. As LFT shuts down Slunge. As Jada comes in, almost gets the second K. Uncle Ron with the 2K. Oh God, they got a flash. Oh, and that's going to be a great start there. Can they finish the EMP? LFT picks up Jewish. And they are almost there. Meachington tries to run in, doesn't. Looks like Uncle Ron does pull off sight at the perfect moment. Oh, and it doesn't quite work out as Uncle Ron finishes that one out. And definitely, let's talk about that start here. Uncle Ron, I think, starting off with a 2K in the beginning there. They were not expecting that, getting the Jaded and then picking up that follow-up there on Juice. I mean, Ace is cooking. They're cooking in this kitchen right now. This is their kitchen. I mean, I'm going to get some stew right now. Oh my. Sorry, Chad. I don't know what it is today. I don't know why I'm more sick than I normally am. I've been recovering good this whole week. Oh my goodness. But they came through. They came through there. Acer 4-0. The closer they get to 7-0, the more I'm itching because I don't want to pay out the $5. I know Acer's a good squad. They're first in the league. I don't need to see them 7-0 a team off the rip here. You know, I want to see 0 come back because Acer's been just dominated. They come in fast, take picks left and right. We see Uncle Ron getting that 2K, you know, in that previous round here. It's looking tough. Here we go again on this third floor here. You know, last time we had seen them on this third floor, it worked out favorably. They had so much utility coming out there in their favor, knocking out a lot of the 0 players picks early on. I mean, look at that chip damage on 1, 2, 3 different players there. Not an S tier frag, but an A tier for sure. As Juice actually shoots right through the smoke grenade. That's unfortunate. And the drone getting knocked out there. Oh my goodness. Oh, Kha'Zix drops in the frag. Tech9 with a follow-up on the window. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's just deadly from every single angle there. Uncle Ron follows up there. LFT knocks that one down. Now coming down to just Jaded. Can a Tech9 one finish this one up here? They can't. Jaded gets the pick. But now Kha'Zix for the follow-up. And they knock that down with that blind fire. I was shocked here. You know, I didn't expect Jaded to recover from that one. That was a tough situation, but they still made it happen. But Kha'Zix was the next wall for them to fight against. And that wasn't an easy wall for sure. I mean, Kha'Zix has been doing such a good job. I think they're still higher on the scoreboard here. 8 picks in total, you know, almost rivaling LFT on the back and almost rivaling. It's been such a good game for Acer here. I mean, at this point, we're within 2 points of Acer just shutting this one out here, and it's got to be hard on the mental for 0, right? Zero's performed so well, but when you play against other teams in CCs, you know, no discredit to those teams, but they also aren't top 8, let alone top 4. I always say this, top 4 versus the rest of the top 8. I always say there's kind of a huge difference in terms of skill gap. Not every season's like that, but I see that consistently where the top 4 tend to just dominate. Maybe sometimes even the top 2, depending on how big some of these skill gaps are. And Acer right now is very much in form. Someone said don't die on us. I'm trying my best to not die, guys. I am trying my best here. I think because I'm just talking so much, my throat is drying up, you know? As a Juice now Oh, Kha'Zix with the follow-up. Tech9 with the follow-up. Tech9 with the 2K in the end there. They are denying this garage. This garage side is very much the property of Acer here. As Potato, Jewish Potato somehow surviving against Uncle Ron. But Tech9 for the follow-up. It looks like the site is going to be taken over by Acer, as I said earlier. It is very much B side is their side. Oh my goodness. I don't know what is going on. Just Jewish Potato in a 1v2 here. And they did not check the right, unfortunately. That is going to be going the way of Acer. I mean, let me pull this one out here. We saw just denial of garage here. I mean, talk about dominance. They came in, they saw, they took. And Zero, unfortunately, had their name all over that garage. Unfortunately, it wasn't all over the garage anymore after that takeover, as Acer does shut them down here. Dare I say, this might be one of the quickest playoff matches if Acer does 7-0 this one. Please, Zero, I need y'all. Please get one. Please get one. I don't want to pay $5. You know, I don't want to pay this $5. Zero, I bet against Acer because I expected I could see Zero getting one. Just one is enough, you know, to showcase, hey, we can do this one. We've gone through a weekend, a full weekend of just, you know, one map matches the whole weekend. That's tough. Winning all of that, still having enough energy to go in the next day and play, you know, a best of 3 match against whoever was the other finalist for CCs. I mean, that takes grit. It takes tenacity here, and I'm hoping Zero's gonna really dig in, find that, and hopefully get one round against Acer. But I will say, dominance is all I can do to describe Acer right now. Dominance and aura, I guess, is the best way to look at it. As Zero's gonna be playing very wide again. 1-2, like a 4, like a 2-2-1, almost a 3-2, depending on how they where they rotate that Meachington. Oh my goodness, they're tossing those flashes all over. Another flash coming in, a double flash coming in. The Incendiary, though, coming out, denying to, shuts them down. Hitting another pick. No, Jaden with the follow with the 2K there. Almost a 3K on Tech9. Tech9's going to be swinging, gets a pick. Now come down and just plunge. Oh, they don't see that one. And oh my goodness, chat. Dare I say, 7-0 here. Talk about cooking, right? Talk about cooking here. I have no other words to explain what we had just seen from Acer here besides dominance and cooking. I almost feel bad, I think, for Zero here. But again, I know they got it, and then we've seen them perform well, you know, before. But I will say it's Acer. It's Acer. It's the top squad. It's a team that's honestly very much in form right now, right? They've lost a couple of games this season, but they've came back the last set of matches. They've been performing very, very well, right? So I'm not shocked it's not quite working out in their favor here, but it didn't quite work out for them, unfortunately here. Oh, sorry. Let's look at these match clips here. Let's see some of the replays. Yeah, I mean, I think this play specifically here is probably one of the best describers of what we had seen just from these two teams alone. It's just dominance, all-out dominance coming out from the Acer squad. They performed so well in this previous matchup against Zero. You know, I didn't expect to see that 7-0 here, but yet that's exactly what we had gotten. It looks like we are getting ready pretty soon for the upcoming matchup here. Let me tell the teams. All right, y'all are ready to go. But they'll be going right into the upcoming matchup here. We'll be having a Factory starting out pretty soon here. And of course, fan favorite, I'm not shocked, Hideout with a Factory follow-up here. I mean, Factory, again, bread and butter of what Breachers is. We've seen this map time and time again. Hopefully we can see something different though, right? Last matchup, you know, when we've seen F3 and Valor go at it, I got to see some good attacking plays that I kind of don't see that often. But here we go, Factory. Sorry guys, it is, you know, already being sick and then having to do the solo cast is definitely hard on the throat here, but hey, totally fine. I thought I had more cop drops. I thought I would have had more cop drops here, but hey, here we go. Acer now on defense against Zero. Again, Acer's gonna be on the advantage side here. Oh, his Kazak's already off to an amazing start with what is honestly one of the craziest, I think, frags I've seen in a hot minute there. Tech 9 not dying there, somehow surviving, only leaving the 3 players left on Zero. Never mind, it's one. Splunge gonna be here alone. Garon goes for the swing. It is all out mayhem as everyone decides to swing onto the Zero players, and I think this might be a quick map here. This is playing right into Acer's hand. I mean, Factory, talk about Factory is gonna be where they shine best. We've seen them have aggressive defenses, and it's gonna allow them to really play into that here. You know, I'm scared. I'm honestly scared for Zero here. I don't want this to be a quick match. I want Zero to get one. I hope they get a couple matches in his total, you know, matchup here, right? I mean, if Acer can get a 14-0 win, that's crazy work. And I'm kind of scared to see what Acer can do in the rest of these playoffs. Because, again, it's just hard to get 14 rounds won without one round slipping through here. So we'll see what happens, but I'd be a little scared for Ivy if Acer comes out of this 14-0, right? I'm out of water. Wow, I drank that much water? That's crazy work. Crazy work. Here we go in round 2 here. Acer already up with a 2K from Tech 9. Can they get a third? Yes, they can. They got a 3K in the end there. What is going on? All out mayhem. Zero now down an EMP, down 3 players. Oh my goodness. That was like way too fast. Oh my goodness. It's funny being a caster. You have a lot of. Oh my goodness. They shut down Uncle Ron there. Peachington finally showcased that they could do something here. Acer now down 2 whole players. This is a 2v3 attack right now for Zero. This isn't impossible. Definitely need a challenging comeback as, oh my goodness, LFT on the back end there does deny Juice God now, only leaving Meachiton left here. Can they hold this? Yes, they can. They knocked out Tech 9 Jr. for the count. Now only in a 1v2. LFT and Kazakhs have to do their best to hold this one down. I do think they have the chop to do this, but I have been genuinely surprised before. is that? Oh my goodness. Am I seeing weird stuff? Yeah, like the first player view looks weird now. Yeah, it looks like LFT and Kha'Zix just playing to themselves here. Probably playing it smart. They don't want to deny the one-person advantage they currently have here. This is honestly one of the plays to make. Probably until Michigan makes some move here. Doesn't flash them? Am I blind? I thought that would have been a flash. As that frag goes in deep there. That's almost not going to get him. I'm kind of shocked. Go for the wall banks there. Does! Oh, but LFT comes in for the perfect swing in the end, and that's going to give them a win. Oh, I mean, there you go. Acer, talk about, again, Aura, as they keep denying any round wins here from Zero. Let's see if I can pull up a replay. I think I had a good replay from that previous round. Oh, yeah. It was this initial push by Zero. They come in here, right? Tech9 already gets the one pick on the end. Gets the second in the end there. I think they got the third. No, they didn't. That person survived. But Tech9 off to a hot start. And I keep seeing that from Acer. It's just this aggressive defense on Factory. It's giving such a hard time to Zero here. They can't even, again, they can't even get on this map at this point. I mean, how do you come back from this? How do you make something work here? Again, reminder, this is a best of 3 series here. Acer just has to win 2 maps and they're done and started the year. As oh my goodness, I need to get another cough drop. Sorry y'all. What happened there? What is going on? I think Zero said let's just punch it, and they're going right in. Huracan's in hand, doesn't quite work. I get the pick though from Jaded there. Jewish trying to follow up. Oh, they get picked up themselves here. Now just Splunge left as they are deciding to run this one up here. I'm not sure what happened with the Zero. They might have just said send it. Oh, Splunge does knock out LFT, but that is not going to be enough right now as Acer is denying them again. I think these teams might be done here. These teams might. They look like they're pretty fed up. I mean, check out the Zero side. They're just running Huracans at this point. I think it's. That's about it here. All right, chat. You know what? We're just gonna run with it. We're gonna run with it here as we're seeing a 5 Huracan push by the Zero squad. I think at this point they decided it's chalked and they're just gonna run it against Acer, and whatever works, works, right? Sorry guys, I'm just taking a breather right now. It's been a long 2 casts. You know, 1 cast I feel like it's fine on your own. 2 in a row, it does kind of, you know, kind of draw on you here. Oh, it looks like they flashed themselves for good luck as one tries to send it deep. Oh my goodness, Uncle Ron shuts that down with a Vezin in hand. Jaded gets the pick there on LFT. Oh, they are just getting denied left and right at this point. Hotline just shuts that one down. It's all coming down as this Jewish potato here. They get the 1K, they get the 2K, almost a 3 in the end there. If this is the one, this is the clutch play from Zero. I don't even know what happened there. I don't know, chat. I'm gonna laugh the fact that the one win that Zero got is their meme round is crazy work. But Acer didn't 14-0-0. They did not 14-0-0. And sometimes all you need, honestly, is just that confidence to say, who cares? Let's just go in. And it works out. Splunge mid-game, by the way, DMs me, this is the new meta. Okay, you're mid-game. That's crazy work, Splunge, but go off. Martine, who do you have, Ivy or Acer? I honestly think Acer is coming back this season. I think they're disappointed with what happened last season, and we're gonna see some crazy performance. As it looks like we're just getting a full 5-person set here. Tripline takes out one already from Kazakh. There's Splunk goes in for the 1K. Doesn't follow up. Tech 9 though tries to shut it down. Does. And that is going to be one of the quickest rounds I think we just had. Yeah, I mean, these teams are done. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they are done at this point. We're still gonna cast this. I want to see what happens here. I mean, we kind of want to. I kind of have to see who wins this one out here. Acer has been denying them at this point. I think we're starting to see Acer switches. They're pulling out Huracans themselves, and I'm laughing that these teams are just basically saying, let's send this for the meme builds, because double. I want to see an Acer Huracan bio. Honestly, that'd be hilarious. If Acer 14-0, Martini got to throw it back again. I'm sorry, they didn't. They 14-1 potentially. If Zero pulls up another one, I'm gonna laugh really hard. And this one, I'm just gonna be laughing. I'm just laughing because I think everyone's just having fun at this point. It's still Acer's game, but it's more about how many. Uncle Ron is in here though. Can they deny the team? They got the 1K. They got the 2 there. This is going to be a fast matchup. And the yellow team with a follow-up. I can't. We're moving too fast here. Spawn's getting knocked out. Oh my god, it's all out mayhem. Oh my goodness. I mean, talk about this. They're just sending it. Yeah, very hectic camera angles. I'm trying to follow all the rushing. What can I say? What can I say? You know, I think chat is done at this point. Acer now getting the switch up. They are attacking now. They are attacking now. You know, Zero, this is the time to do something different. If y'all, you know, if y'all can get a map 3, I would love that. I would love to see that. Dubs in the chat here. I mean, Acer is cooking at this point. Both teams are cooking. I think they're just going for meme builds. I mean, we're seeing... Come on, Zero. At least get like a Taurus in hand or some. We're going to be seeing all-out Jespers coming out from them there. And this is going to be basically whatever team can meme the best with the guns they have here. Oh, Uncle Ron cooking up there. Tech 9 with the follow-up. That's a deep frag. That's going to be taken out. A 2K in the end there. That is going to be it for Acer as they cooked up that round. I mean, can I get this frag on here? I mean, that is not an S tier. That's an S double That's a double S tier frag there as they finish that one up. Y'all are having fun. You know, that's why I always say CCs is tough, right? I mean, CCs you already have a long weekend, right? You're winning off of one map each, and then you have to go do a best of 3 this following day against the second finalists, and then you're not done. You come in the next weekend, you're playing against top teams. You're playing not top teams, the top team. You're playing against first seed, which this time around is gonna be Acer. It's tough. Someone said, I think Restart versus Acer was the best ACC champion team did in finals. Honestly, yeah, I remember that, cat. I think I was dumbfounded. Oh, what is this? Run out. Beautiful. 2-3K. But Jewish Potato gets picked up in the end. It comes down to Meachington in a 1v3 here. And they do get flashed out. Can they follow up? And Kazakhs can finish that one out. And that is going to be it for these two teams here. Acer now winning up 7-1. And I gotta give credit. I know it was a meme round. I know it was a meme round here, but Zero got not zero. They got one round in the pocket here. Someone had said Acer 14-0, and I said no. Maybe one map 7-0, but two maps 7-0 would be kind of crazy work here. And Zero did exactly that. They got 14-1, which is tough. On the mentos we saw there in those last 4 or 5 matches, they're definitely tough on the Zero mental. And you know, people, I saw people in the chat talking about the difficulty of being a CC champion, and it is, right? Because it's already such a challenging weekend to be doing so many different things, playing one map, which is already such a weird kind of style. Everyone's used to different styles of gameplay. One map for a whole day against different teams, and then hoping that you get the top 2 scores, you know, in that, and then you move on and you have best of 3 in the upcoming weekend after that. It's just challenging, right? It's just challenging. It's hard to not get slammed, I think, being the CC's champion here. And I saw someone bring up, I think maybe Restart might have been the best CC champion. I think, yeah, it was one of the better ones, right? We'd seen them play very well against Acer. I think there was a good, was it Acer? Whoever was first last season, they had such a good follow-up there, and it was beautiful. Like truly beautiful. I gotta put that out. Truly beautiful, because they had performed so well. There was a split second, I remember screaming, it was like Skyscraper, where I was like, I think they can win this. Like, I think they genuinely could come back and win this one. I don't think they did. I think it went to map 3. They performed so well. I was shocked by the 8th seeded team perform well, but I remember like Restart at one point, like they were in very, very good form. So it depends, right? It depends on the CC being in very, very good form. It's tough. I mean, it sucks too, right? Because if you're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to 15, right? You're hoping you can get in, and everyone's just kind of fighting for it. So you're hoping for the best. But it didn't quite work out here. But unfortunately, that is gonna be it. I mean, Zero and Acer winning up that one, 14 to Zero's 1 here. Before I do sign out, though, I do want to give a quick shout out to the creators on the VRML team, and of course the mods. If you ever want to get involved in what we do behind the scenes, which is creating content, casting games, or helping with moderation, we're always accepting applications for more volunteers. So please head over to the Breachers VRML Discord and submit an application if you are interested. I saw a lot of people in chat. I think 2 or 3 people already reached out to me, but I saw people in chat interested in casting. If you're interested in casting, the season is almost over, and usually when the season's over, I set a lot of time aside to help people train up and be casters for the next season. So if you are interested, please reach out to me, and I can maybe do some training sessions for you, and then maybe we can get you started on the casting desk next season. Because as you saw this season, even today, like you know, as much as we have so many casters, people are busy, and it allows you to maybe, you know, come on and cast some of the playoffs with other casters like me, Bob, Plague Doctor. You know, if you want to see, I think Old Gravy is actually coming back a lot more next season in terms of casting. So we got to see a lot of really cool things happen And I think casting is honestly one of the best ways to enjoy this game. You get to engage with the community in such a different way. So if you're interested in casting, please reach out to me. I would love to train people up and hopefully get a more full casting desk next season. So thanks for coming out and watching another VRML Breachers playoff cast. We appreciate seeing you all here today. And of course, remember to subscribe and leave a like. It's greatly appreciated. Hopefully I can see you all in the next cast. And if you're not busy tomorrow, we are going to be having the second set of matches tomorrow. Let me pull up those team names. It's going to be IBNA and SBNA for the first matchup tomorrow, and Fusion versus Valiant. So please tune in tomorrow. Check out the second set of playoff matches. And of course, next weekend is going to be the big playoffs. So we're going to be seeing the bronze matches. We're going to be seeing the grand finals going on next weekend for who is the best Breachers team in the league for this season. We'll see if Acer can reclaim their throne, if IBNA can hold down and maybe create their own dynasty and win out 3 different seasons, or maybe another team comes in and wins up the grand finalist throne there. That'll be exciting to see here. But that is going to be it for me today. I will see y'all around and have a good night.
Breachers VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager, Triangle Factory. Thanks for watching VRML.